Hello, my name is Dr. Paul Ho. I'm here to tell you about my story with secondhand smoke. I am a practicing cardiologist in town, and I'm also a heart patient. Some of you may remember me from a TV ad several years ago to talk about my experience as a patient. Several years ago, when I was 39 years old, I suffered a heart attack, and which ultimately led to open heart bypass surgery. I do have a family history of elevated cholesterol. My whole family has that. However, I'm the youngest member of my family, the youngest of 5 siblings. My parents have been healthy, and none of my brothers and sisters had any heart problems, and I was the first one. In looking back, I have to think that perhaps my secondhand smoke had something to do with me having a heart problem at such a young age. In the past, I used to go out with friends to nightclubs dancing on the weekends once in a while. And I remember very clearly that it was a Friday night, and we stayed out for a little bit longer than usual. It was just dancing, but I remember that night the smoke was especially thick at the nightclub, and by the time we were through, you could smell this smoke, secondhand smoke stench on our clothes. And throughout that weekend, I hadn't feel well at all. On Saturday and Sunday. On Monday, I went back to work, and luckily I was in a hospital, and I felt that my chest was not feeling right, and I just went over to get an EKG in my own department, and immediately realized that there is something seriously wrong with my heart. While they were working on me, I actually had a cardiac arrest on the table, and they were luckily able to bring me back with the paddles and brought me over to have open heart surgery. And ever since that experience, I've been trying to educate as many people as I can on the danger of secondhand smoke. Even a little bit of exposure, even about 30 minutes of exposure, biochemical changes in the body can already be measured that is leading toward a heart attack. And at this point in time, I'm very happy with the statewide ban on smoking in public places, in bars and restaurants. However, recently I had discovered that of another problem with secondhand smoke. I didn't even know that I was living with secondhand smoke in my own home. I had always recognized a smell in my condo apartment until a friend came over one time and asked me, "Hey Paul, do you smoke?" And that's when I realized that it was secondhand smoke coming over from my neighbor's unit. And since I realized, I've done some research on condo buildings, ventilation systems, and as it turns out, no ventilation system in the world or in any building can prevent the circulation of air throughout the entire building. So air is essentially shared by all of the units in a given building structure. And that's a real problem, because now then we're going back to the same situation where non-smokers are being affected by secondhand smoke in a negative way. It's going back to the same situation as bars and restaurants, where smoke cannot be prevented to invade into the space of people who don't smoke, and therefore affecting their health in a negative way. I've been working very hard with my building's owners, board of directors, to try to change the bylaws of my building. There are some smoke-free buildings in Hawaii. However, a lot of buildings are called smoke-free, but they're actually not smoke-free, in that a lot of buildings are smoke-free in the public space, like the lobby parking lots, entranceway, swimming pool, but they're allowing people to be smoking in their own apartments. Now, that's okay to do if we live in individual houses. However, if we are living in a common structure where the air cannot be divided amongst the units, that the air is essentially shared by everybody, then I think these buildings ought to have a similar smoking ban. I live in the Hawaiki Tower building, and if any of you live in the same building, or if you know anybody who lived there, please help us to get as many yes votes to change the bylaws, as many as possible. And I think I would urge all of you who live in a condo building to go back to your own building and assess the situation there, because it can make a difference to your health and to the health of your family, to continue to live with secondhand smoke, or to try to change the bylaws of your building so that you can live in a healthier environment in your own home. I wish I could be there in person today. However, unfortunately, I have to work. I wish you a very good meeting, and aloha. Thank you very much.